Good morning. It's a hauling beans kind of day. Well, not day, morning. Phil's leaving with his second load. I'm loading up with my second load, which should get the overhead about empty because I had one left on the truck from last night. Phil loaded out of the overhead for both of his, so we can usually have 3 loads up there. So that'll be it. We are filling this bin, and this bin will be full of soybeans by the time we're done here. But we do need to move some in the fall for cash flow purposes. Most of our expenses on the farm are in the fall. That may not seem like it makes sense, but we've already paid the seed bill for 2024. And we're putting on a lot of fertilizer in the fall. All that chicken litter has to get paid for when it gets spread. Most of, I'll say most of, but a large portion of our rent is due in the fall. So we have a lot of expenses now, and that's why we have to move some grain for cash flow. All right, well, we've got our bean hauling done for the morning. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could go combine, but there is still a little dew on the grass. So I'm going to jump in the truck and we're going to drive around and go drive past all our soybean fields and see if they're all ready or if there's some that still got some green leaves on them yet. There's a fertilizer spreader sitting in my driveway. We're having our one retailer spread the starter fertilizer for the wheat. That field right there is wheat. So we're spreading some MAP, monoammonium phosphate, some potash, and some AMS, ammonium sulfate, as fertilizer for the wheat crop. So they are getting that taken care of. So I'm trying to figure out where we go next, combining beans, after the couple of fields where we're at currently. This field is an option. They look like they're ready. So we'll put that one on the list that needs to be done before it rains tomorrow, along with a bunch of other ones. But a chicken litter pile out there and a bunch of white mold. Okay. And then we've got this field. This is the one that we irrigated way back in June. The beans have looked like crap all year. I don't expect them to be great, although it's a lot better in the back of this field than it is in the front of it. So they might not be terrible, but are they ready? 45 mile an hour drive-by from the road says yes, they are ready. And we might get there tomorrow. And then there's this field. This is the very first planted field of beans. They're 3.1 maturity. And they're going to be really good beans. Like, they have looked fantastic all year. Are they ready? I would say yes. We could combine those beans. And we've got my 30-inch road beans up here in the field where we irrigated corn last year. Those are a 3.3 maturity, and they're not supposed to be ready yet. But they are. And they're probably some of our best beans, and I should come and get them now. I just can't do it all. We can only do what we can. There is a few green ones along the ditch over there, but not enough to say we shouldn't get them. We should. We absolutely should. And that's also where I'm going to have my Golden Harvest Soybean Yield Contest beans. So, yeah, there's that. And then there's this field, and another one over here, that were some of the last planted beans. They look like they're ready, and they're probably the farthest away from our farm. We're almost 10 miles here. And those are sort of wet fields that maybe we should get those. Actually look like pretty good beans. Maybe we should come there. There's about 90-ish acres between 2 fields over this way. Problem is they're far away. It's going to take us time to get moved. We could do them in a day. Not going to be today, but maybe tomorrow we'll come here. We have about 800 acres to run yet. I'm hoping to get 300 done the next 2 days, so we'll be down to 500. You just can only do so much. Oh, and then there's this field. And this one is right down the road from where the combine currently sets, and I can probably get there without dropping the head. So guess where we're actually going to go? This is that same field. Combine is just down the road here where we were working, and there's no obstacles that would say I can't get here with the head on, other than the road grader up there, but that won't be there then. So this is what we did yesterday. We've got this field to do, and we've got one up here on the corner. There's a 40 and a 30 there, so that's like 70 acres, which is, you know, most of a day, or at least half a day. I think we start there, and then we go to the one back just up the road today. And the more of that we can get done, the better, and then we can figure out what to do tomorrow. But we can come out right there and get to this field here and get these out while we're right here. Makes sense to me. And just for good measure, so I can say that you've seen them all, here is the last soybean field that we have to do that we have not driven past yet. They're also ready, but we aren't going to get here. Alright, that's what we got to do. Well, I guess there's the plot and the double crop beans. The double crops are not ready. They're the only ones that are not ready, but they'll get there eventually. Well, we're in the combine. Let's try and go get started. That's disconcerting a little bit. Software update that was approved for this vehicle has been canceled by John Deere and is no longer available for installation. I wonder if that's the one that I already installed. Also, it doesn't want to let me make that go away. I started this up, and then we moved the grain cart, and now I'm coming to get the combine. We're gonna drive across the field to get to where we're going. Can you guys? Can you see that bird? He just grabbed a rabbit and flew away with it. Oh, that was awesome! I wish I would have gotten that on video faster. All right, well, we're getting the field opened up here. Crappy beans on the end. We had a lot of weeds along the road right here, just for the first 120 foot, kind of to right here. The reason being, Phil planted like 2 rounds of beans there, and then we went to Berkey, and those beans were coming up before we finished the field and were able to spray it. And once the beans come out of the ground, we can't use our pre-merge herbicide, so Dad couldn't spray this first pass with that chemical, and clearly, to the line here, it doesn't work when we can't spray our pre-emerge. The pre-emerge works and kept the rest of the field clean. So that really hurt these beans on the first couple of passes. They should get better. We're in the 50s here. But yeah, already this pass that's half and half is quite a bit better. So we'll see how it goes. Phil is here sitting in the grain cart. I don't know if he intends to run that or what his plans are. I really don't need to run a grain cart here in this field especially, but while he's getting the first load up around, I suppose it's fine. So anyway, we'll see how the week can do today. We did get an early start. It was 11:45 or so when we started combining, so we should be able to cover a lot of ground. And they are dry, running in the 13s already. So that's a good sign for being able to get a lot done today. We are more efficient when we run a grain cart and I don't have to stop to unload, so that is nice. Patch of thistles there. How's that happen? Anyway, it is just now 1 o'clock, not even quite 1 o'clock. We are 21 acres in already, so we are off to a great start. The beans have gotten a lot better after we got away from those first couple of passes there. We're mostly in the yellows, in the green. Yellow, I believe, is 60 to 70 bushel. Yeah, there's the scale. Anything 70 plus is green, 80 plus is dark green. They don't have much dark green on there, but it's going well. I did want to take a second here. I have a young fan out in Illinois that I have kind of communicated back and forth a few times, and I've been following on Facebook for the last week that he had a bit of an accident last week. So Caleb, I'm sure you're watching this. Hope your recovery is going well, and we've been thinking about you here in the combine. So get better quick, man. All right, well, we finished that field and we're in the process of moving. We got the combine in the cart down here, and I just dropped Phil back off at the truck. I was on the phone when I finished it up, but field made 60. That's not too bad for as bad as the ends and the side was where the grass was. We've got, I think there's 32 acres in this field up here. We're gonna run real fast and then keep moving. It's not a nice sunny day, but the beans are relatively dry and they're running good, and we should still have a big day. All right, well, we're working in on this field. Actually, we're 10 acres into it, and we've made almost 2 passes around the outside is all. I expect this to be probably our worst field of beans. Like, this is not a good farm. It's got a big low spot in the middle here that's kind of muck. You can see we've got some disease in here. Got a big spot over there that's just full of giant rags that we're not even gonna harvest. There's more muck up in the front. The back of it is heavy yellow clay, high ground that's poorly drained. This is just, it's not a great farm. So if these beans average in the 50s, which we're sitting at almost 53, getting the ends off, yeah, that is good. If that's our low, that is good. And some of them won't be terrible, but a lot of them are not going to be great. I mean, even these that look good, but they've got disease in them, you know, 50s, 58, 57, 56 now. Yeah, it's hard to grow beans in this muck soil. That's what it is. Just about wrapping this field up here. Got another half a pass, but I got behind the hole done. Just this up here to do. So they're not horrible beans. They're our worst so far, but they're in the mid 50s, and we'll take that here. So so I had talked about, so remember we said there's another field right up the road here. It's over by that barn. That's the one we looked at this morning that I was going to go to next because I don't have to drop the head. I would like to do that, but I do not have enough fuel to get there and finish it tonight. And Dad took our fuel trailer to Berkey and left it there. And the truck with the transfer tank in it is also at Berkey and left there. So I have no way to bring fuel to the field. So we're gonna drop the head and go home, and then we're gonna go to another field that's closer to home. The first one we looked at this morning on our little drive around. So there's 80 acres there. If I could get that one done tonight, I would be thrilled. That'd be a heck of a day, and we'll just keep moving as best we can. All right, getting unloaded. We're done here. Time to head back to the farm for fuel. We're down to 4 bars. I mean, we could go for a little while, but we wouldn't get that field done over there. There's like 75 acres total, so we're just gonna go home, fuel up now, and go to the next field from there. Pretty good chunk of beans done through here. I figured we've done about 235 acres since we hooked the head up. That's a good couple of days work there. So let's go fuel her up and then head on to the next 80 acres there. All right, well, quick fuel pit stop. Got the head over there. I cleaned up the PTO shaft coupler on the head because it was sticking and being very difficult to get hooked up and on and off. And we are ready to go. So be very careful to not hit stuff. Look in the mirror. And head to the next field. I have to stop and pick the boys up. They get to come hang out with me tonight because my wife has stuff going on. I'm driving past the house, so I told them, go outside now. Okay, we got moved and we are running. So most of this field should be decent. However, we'll get to that in a second. We do have some grass along the outside, mostly just in the outside pass or two with the combine. Not a big deal. It's not great. It's not good, but we can combine around it or through it, and it won't really affect anything other than bring the outside passing yield down a little bit. Now, I picked up some riders. Say hi.
Hi.
Look at your tooth. He lost his tooth that was wiggly the other day.
And it was bleeding.
It was bleeding, yeah.
Today I lost it.
I know, but it was wiggly the other day in the combine when you were on the video, remember?
Yeah.
This is the field that we took some drone video of a couple of weeks, or a week ago, whenever that was. And I know that the music was too loud and you couldn't hear me talking over that video. But if you could hear me, I was talking about how this field has a bunch of white mold in it. But only in certain places, and it kind of is L-shaped around this corner piece here. We'll talk about that more as we go here in a little bit. Hey boys.
What?
You like my sweatshirt today?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah.
Tell them where they can get one. Do you know? Do you know where you can get a sweatshirt that says Borderview Farms on it?
On Borderview.com.
On what?
On
BorderviewFarms.com?
Yeah.
You are correct. If you go to BorderviewFarms.com and click on the shop link, you can get yourself a Borderview Farms sweatshirt. Or you can head directly over to FarmFocus.com and get it from them. You should do that, right? They should do that, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
You like your Borderview Farms sweatshirt, right? Yep. How about you? Do you like your Borderview Farms shirt?
I want one like that.
You want one like this? Did you know that you can get hats there too?
Borderview Farm hat?
Yeah.
Oh, I want one.
You want one? And it's getting cold, so you're going to need a hat, right?
So can I get one?
I can get you one. Or you can go and get yourself one at BorderviewFarms.com/shop. You too?
Yeah.
I suppose. All right, so we are comfortable here and opened up. Can you see all the black beans out here? The patches of dark beans. There's a lot of it over that way. There's a spot right here in front of us. For the most part, once we get past this little bit, there's not a lot up in this corner. And it's kind of a line that runs right across there. I'm going to throw a screen grab in from the video of the drone the other day, right here. That is taken from the perspective, like kind of back that direction on the north end of this field, okay? Looking out towards the road, and you can kind of line up where the house is in front of us. And you'll see that the corner that we are in now, here's a map. So the drone was taken from back up in here looking this way, and we're right here. The house is here. It's kind of where the grain cart's sitting down here at the end. This corner, basically from here to here, does not have near as much white mold in it. It's got some, but not as bad. That was CRP for 20 or 30 years, up until 2014, I think was the first year that we farmed that. The outside. This piece we have farmed for 40 years. It's interesting to me that the white mold shows up worse where it was CRP, but it was 10 years ago, and it's still showing up. So this is going to be our test field. We're going to find out how much the white mold's going to hurt us right here. Right here, they're really good beans. Fantastic beans. But it's going to drop off pretty hard where that white mold hit them. And it'll be interesting to see where our average ends up. Good job. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Gladness.
Hey.
Gladness.
That wasn't worth my putting on top of the other things. What?
Takes under that tractor. Still has to change it. we're deep into one of those white mold pockets, showing up big time on the yield map. We're about to come out of it here, and I bet that map starts turning green, or at least yellow, real fast. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. And this is not the only field that's got it. It's one of the worst, but it's not the only one. Get it? Dog sled.
Dog. I know it. I'm just making him guess dog.
What? It's a button that holds the ceiling up. What do you got?
DOGSLAD.
Nice job. Okay, what's next?
B. And I know the second word.
Dishcloth.
And I know the second.
Dishcloth.
Easy. I know the second hardest letter.
You do? What's the second hardest letter? E?
Yeah.
Partner on the right?
Yeah.
Lowercase e?
Yeah. Oh, I can show you that.
Just spell dishcloth right. Dad got back from working down to Berkey. He came and rescued my riders. They're gonna go hang out with him for a while tonight. Whew. We hit these white mold beans and them just turned black and dusty and nasty. I expected the yield to drop way off. It hasn't yet, but it's going to. There's no way. These are 60 bushel beans. There's just no way. There it goes. Takes a minute for stuff flowing through the combine to react and register. 47, 44. So we're losing 20 bushel. We're down to 43, 38, 25 maybe. Where the white mold spots are really bad. No, that's not good. Well, it's getting dark on us. This black dust is going to be a bit of a hindrance in being able to see real good. The other thing, when I get in these white mold spots, my loss monitor spikes up. I'm not convinced that that's beans going out the back. I'm wondering if it's the little pellets. Yeah, see, like that. I couldn't see that spot at all. Spot we were pushing. Anyway, I think it's the little white mold pellets that come out of the stem flying out the back and hitting the impact plates, and the combine thinks that it's beans. It also could be that the beans are smaller, lighter, and they're actually flying through the combine a little bit too, but there's little you're going to do to prevent that and make the adjustments to the combine to keep them in, you know, while it changes so rapidly in our conditions here. So anyway, they're still decent beans. We're still at a 60 bushel average, and if we can hold that with all the white mold that's out here, I'd be pretty darn happy. So we're making our way across here. Are we half done yet? 36. Not quite, but we're almost half done. I don't know if we'll get there tonight or not, but we're sure gonna try. Nighttime unloading on the go. The lights are bright on the 8RX. Push it again. There you go. The beans have been hanging right around 12-13% all day, which is just perfect. You can't get any better than that. There's some good ones in here, man, where the white mold isn't. They're really good, but you can really see the pockets. You know, we had some over here. We had a big pocket here. We had a little strip there. Had a bunch back here. We're getting into a pocket up here. So they're still around. And there's more as we get into these long rows. There's more into here. So, what are we at? 48 acres. 30, 35 to go, something like that. I don't know if we're going to make it or not, but we're sure going to try. It's 8 o'clock now, or just a little after 8. Things seem to be running a lot like last night. We're able to keep going here for a while. Hopefully it's 9 o'clock now, and we've got about 20 acres to finish this field. It should take me about an hour, maybe a touch more. I'd love to get it done. So we'll see how it goes. Phil's here. He needs one more dump to fill a truck, and then the rest of it, I don't know if it'll fit on a cart or not. Probably not, actually. Yeah, that's a good thing. You can see we ran into that strip of white mold that was between the houses. Kind of go back to that picture. You can see that was really bad right there up by the road. I knew it was. You can see it. So hopefully it gets better back in here in these shorter rows. You know, that way you can see it, right? Yeah, I know. It's dark. You can't see anything. Well, we're gonna make it. We got just a round left to do. And yeah, that's a heck of a day. So we'll get this wrapped up. We're running in the 62 range. That's pretty darn good. We combined a lot of soybeans today. A lot. I'll have to do some math and add it up. You can see where the bad spots were with the white mold. We knew this spot was here. I knew this spot was here. I knew this spot was here. And there was some scattered throughout, obviously right here and through all of those, probably those orange spots were the worst of it. The spot we're in right now is a heavy spot back in this corner. But more of it was better than I thought it was going to be. So the white mold certainly hurts. These beans would have averaged in the high 60s, if not in the 70s, without that white mold. So we probably lost 10, maybe 8 to 10 bushel to the acre across the entire 80 plus acres in this field, just from those few small spots that were really, really bad there. So it's not what we like to see, but there's not a whole lot that I can do about it. I will say that this variety that was in this field is a 3.0 bean. It was a brand new one for me this year, and it does not have a very good white mold tolerance or a rating score. It's fairly susceptible to white mold. So poor planning on my part. It did pretty decent in the plot last year. I was looking for a new bean in that maturity range, and so I think we had 4 boxes of them that we planted, and 2 of them were here, and they were not. They did not hold up to the white mold. Now, there's still pretty good beans where there's no white mold in them, but as big of an issue as that can be for us, it's not every year, but it can be. I don't know if this is a bean that I'll be able to plant moving forward. So anyway, the good news is I don't have a lot more of them, and most of the other varieties at least are a little bit better against white mold, and so it shouldn't be a huge issue in too many other fields, although there is some. It's everywhere. It's just a matter of how severe it is. There it is. That's the end of this field. What a day. So I was doing some math. We're gonna call that 82.92. We're gonna call that 83 acres. 83 plus 30 in the last field, plus 42 in the one before that, is a 155 acre day. That is a dang good day of combining soybeans with one machine, 40-foot head, S780, and we did run a cart some, but not the majority of the time. That's 2 guys, 1 guy trucking and carting, 1 guy in the combine. That's a good day. All right, well, I'm going home. That wraps up a heck of a day. It is really nice when everything just works like it's supposed to, and everything is working like it's supposed to. So that was a good day. We're gonna have another one of those tomorrow. Brock's gonna be here, so hopefully we can run a cart, and maybe we can get even a little bit more done tomorrow. We've got a 35 acre piece just down the road from where we're at right now that we're gonna do, and then we're gonna move up the road to a 108 acre piece. So that'll probably be just those 2 fields, and we'll be about the same, but we'll see how everything goes, and again, do as much as we can. So I do have to take the boys to school in the morning, so we'll get a little bit of a late start. Hopefully we can get started combining early. I don't foresee any issues getting started combining like we did today. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Questions, comments, leave them down below. We'll see you tomorrow.